Hello, my name is Leanne Sherrod. I'm a speech-language pathologist and the President and Chief Clinical Officer here at Expressible. Thank you for joining me to learn how to support your child in making the L sound. Today, let's discuss when children typically develop their L sound, as well as some tips to help you assess if your child's ready to begin practicing. Research has shown that children usually acquire the L sound by 5 years of age. I like to use the start of school as a rule of thumb. If your child is going into kindergarten and is having a hard time with their speech, or the L sound in particular, it may be time to start working on these more challenging sounds. When kids start school, they're suddenly put into a much more social environment. They begin to develop relationships with teachers and peers. These new people may have a harder time understanding your child's speech than you do. After all, as caregivers, we have an intuitive connection with our children. Kids who struggle with their speech may suddenly become conscious or aware of these challenges. As you can imagine, this can hurt their confidence. Holding a meaningful conversation, socializing with peers, and speaking in public are life skills many children develop in the classroom. If they don't believe in their abilities, they may clam up, be held back in their social development, or struggle academically. In order to help children be confident communicators, it's best to give them the tools for success as soon as possible. Now keep in mind, while children typically should be pronouncing their L sounds sometime during their 4th year, and for sure before they're 5, that doesn't mean you should wait until then to begin working on this sound. You can and should start practicing much earlier. But how do you know when to begin? Let's talk a little about determining if your child is ready to start on the L sound. Before a child begins practicing and improving their L production, they first have to understand the difference between a correct and incorrect L sound. Speech therapists call this discrimination. To test this out with your child, model a correct L and ask your child if you said it right or wrong. Then say an incorrect L and ask them the same question. Can they tell the right sound from the wrong sound? There are a few ways to switch this up. You can simply make the L sound L. You can use it in a word, love and wov. Or you could try dropping an incorrect word into a sentence and have your child identify it. I love you so much. If your child can't tell the difference, spend some time focusing on this skill. It's essential that your child can discriminate between a correct and incorrect L before moving on. It may feel a little redundant to do these exercises over and over, but I promise it's worth the time and effort. Once your child can tell the difference, try some imitation exercises. Imitation is simply the act of providing a correct model for your child and seeing if they can repeat it back to you. Model the L sound for your child and have them try to copy you. It's completely okay if you need to give them a little help. Explain your tongue placement. Make sure to show your child how to elevate the tongue and keep the jaw stable. Once your child is able to correctly imitate an L sound from you, that's when you know it's time to start working on it. This sets the foundation for all future learning. It may take some time for your child to master this sound. If they're almost 5 years old and still having trouble, it's a good idea to work with a speech-language pathologist. They can help move your child toward being ready to practice. So before we wrap up, let's go over a few of the key points from this video. Most children can correctly say the L sound sometime during their 4th year and definitely by age 5. If your child is going into kindergarten and is struggling with certain sounds, it may be time to start working on their speech. Once school starts, clear communication is more important than ever. To be ready to start practicing L, kids have to understand the difference between a correct and incorrect L sound. They should also be able to imitate the L sound. Remember, if you're ever unsure about your child's development or you're concerned they're not showing progress, it's a good idea to contact a speech therapist. They can evaluate your child and recommend a personalized plan to get them on the path to clearer speech.